So we all want to be loved online, right? You're no fool. You need to post regularly to get traction, right? But you have spent endless hours posting every day, trying to make it look better and gotten fuck all in traction. So the last thing this video is going to be is, hey, the whole don't go viral trope, don't worry about it. Although that is true. You don't need to have a big audience or go viral to make money from social media. And certainly as someone with 3 young kids and no desire to like learn what the algorithm is up to and have a fucking life to live with a bunch of responsibilities, the last thing I want to do is spend all my hours trying to appeal to some sort of thing that doesn't give a fuck about me anyway, right? But I want to be really clear. There are a lot of people with massive, massive follower counts who are broke as shit. So that is not what this video is. What we're talking about is how you can basically have some sort of social media presence to attract the right people in, even if your audience is fucking tiny, even if you suck at this sort of shit, and if you have a life to live outside of this. So, we're going to talk about the 3 ways to be magnetic and attract the right people in without having to post every day, subscribe to tactics you really don't align with, or buy some big creators' foolproof system. So, first though, let's get this out of the way. My name is Colby. Nice to meet you. And if you look at my online numbers, if you look at the impressions my posts get, the likes and shares my posts get, I am the last person you want to take advice from in terms of building this big following or going viral. That is not what I do, right? This is more for the realists. These are for people who want to treat the internet as a place to actually bring value rather than feel like they need to play by all these other rules. I don't know what the rules are. I've never been interested in them. So this is a lot less about how to build that audience or how to do really, really well on social. We're going to focus on that key term being magnetism to the right people. Now, just to be really clear, my business is based on basically attracting 5 to 10 clients a year. Okay. So if you are in the volume game, this stuff will still be really helpful to you, but this is really more for the people who want to attract high quality people who they stick with for a long time, right? Now, no matter what your business is, I would presume you would much rather have people who stick around for a long time and want to keep paying you and build a relationship than have to keep cycling and churning out. Okay. So if you are looking for more of the volume stuff, there's going to be somebody else better for that. But if you want to be magnetic, I'm just going to give you 3 ways that I've been able to do it with really low numbers to be able to build a 6-figure business in my first year and be on pace to increase those numbers in my second year. So this first one is going to eliminate the I need to post every single day vibe on its own. Not terrible advice, but I'm going to try and save you some time here. So let's give a for instance, right? When somebody asks like what you do, right? Or, what you've been up to and that sort of stuff. And you start telling them, and within moments, they're like, oh, well, you should, or have you tried this, or you should, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, what the hell? Like, we just met, right? Were you just waiting for your turn to talk? Exactly. So the first point, let's have some shit to say. Let's have some actual value to give. The whole I need to post every day thing without actual conviction, without self belief, without this needs to be said in this moment right now, you are more or less just one level above AI slop. Okay. One level above word vomit. Like the thing is if you want to be magnetic, the most magnetic thing you can possibly possess is your conviction, right? The reason I have such small numbers and can still hit 6 figures in my first year of business, having no fucking clue what I'm doing, by the way, like going from 15 years of being in the marketing world and running a business that way to like coaching people, a lot of transferable skills, sure, but a completely different like business model and discipline. To be able to hit 6 figures in my first year was down to my conviction. Full stop, the end. If you look at my social stuff, just so you know, 2 weeks ago stuff I published, I like cringe at, right? Which proves that I'm growing. But when I look at that kind of stuff, it's like I am trying the baseline thing, whether it looks good or not, whether it's designed well or not, whether I deliver well or not, whether I'm talking too long or too short, which is almost ever the case, it's almost always too long. It is always full of conviction, right? Just because I cringe at it from 2 weeks ago doesn't mean I still don't believe it. It's just like, man, I wish I was better at doing this social media thing. I wish I was better at having like any design skills at all or setting a scene. Like I just recorded a video half hour ago where I accidentally stepped in my dog's shit over there, right? Like this is messy. Those skills I'm building, right? It's a Rubik's cube I'm trying to solve. But the baseline with all of those things is conviction. So the whole post every day thing, if you are posting without full on belief, like I need to say this, it is pouring out of me, I cannot help but share this with the world, don't say it. Don't say it. Spend more time on having an opinion about stuff. Spend more time where you're not posting 15 stories a day. Spend like make no doubt about it. You can build a business that way. This is not this or like, mine is better than that. But if you want to be magnetic, you cannot be subscribing to the I need to post every single day if you don't actually believe in the stuff you're saying every single day. So you can miss a day, right? If that is time spent learning more about yourself and building more conviction in what you do and all that sort of stuff, freaking do it, right? Now, there will be a lot of people who are like, terrible advice, don't listen to him. But I'm telling you right now, on a long enough time period, if you want to be magnetic, you cannot be giving lukewarm stuff out there. You cannot be doing stuff that you don't believe in. You cannot be saying, you know what? I have no fucking clue what I believe in, but let me just post about my top 5 ways to do X, Y, and Z. Tell me what you care about, right? And let's go into point 2, because these two combined, first one, have something to say. If you don't have something to say, you don't have to post, right? Now, don't be fucking lazy and keep looking for shit to say, where are my opinions? Where's my belief? Where are the stories? All that kind of stuff, right? I'm not saying do nothing until you have something to say. I'm saying on the days you don't know what to say, go fucking looking for it, but don't post slop. All right, so the next point is from this quote that like screwed me up royal, right? But like to paint the picture, why do we check reviews before we go to a new restaurant, right? We're not actually there because that helps us taste the food better. We're looking at Yelp or Google or whatever because what are we trying to accomplish? We want to see somebody else's experience, right? So instead of going to the restaurant's website and saying, tell me all about the experience, we want to experience the restaurant through other people, right? We want their point of view. I love, by the way, like I never use these for anything other than fun, but I love a Yelp review when someone is like, me and my husband were looking for a blah, 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 blah. After we had gone to this place, and this place, we said, you know what we need? A tasty empanada. Oh, good shit. But why do we do that? Why is it? It's because of this quote. Content fills space. POV shifts minds. This is not magnetic over here. Content doesn't attract people to you, right? It just creates noise. If you want signal, you got to give your point of view, right? It is so easy where like the internet is almost half deep fakes now and AI comments and all that sort of stuff. Your point of view is more valuable than ever, right? I just recorded a video before this one talking about Cookie Monster, okay? Like, and relating it back to business. Point of view, how do you see the world? What did you feel in that experience? Not what was it, how did it make you feel, right? So if you have something to say, full conviction, one of the most potent things you can do to turn that into, regardless of whether it gets 1,000 likes and shares or 1 or 2, for the right people to be attracted to you, is take that conviction and add your personal point of view. Put me in the room, set the scene, right? Right now, this is the first time I'm ever recording in my backyard. Did a video where I stepped in dog shit over there, did a video talking about Cookie Monster here, and now I'm talking about this, right? I had to move a Little Tykes basketball hoop out of the way. I had to be like, what am I talking about right now? And it is, I'm trying to get this video done before all the shade's gone away, right? But I'm setting the scene. Whether that's valuable to you overall isn't the point. But when I tie it all together, like I'm putting you where I see things, right? This is my whole offer right now. I do one-on-one coaching to help people build self-trust. Ironically, the way I build self-trust with them is not by saying, you should do this. It is they tell me what they're going through, 100% trust in the room, full transparency, right? Like they know it's going to get kind of ugly, messy, whatever. And they tell me everything. I'm a safe space, like therapy with freaking business acumen behind it, right? And they say all this stuff. And instead of saying, well, you should do this, I just reframe what they said to me and said, my point of view is it sounds like you're saying this. How close to the mark am I? Or, a couple sessions ago, you mentioned you want to be great. So how does that get reconciled with you saying you're afraid to look stupid, right? Can you be great at this level? Like, I just start asking those questions, right? That's my point of view. That's me saying, hey, you said greatness, and then you're also too afraid to make moves. There's a contradiction here, right? They know it, but it's my point of view that unlocks it to where I don't tell them what their next move is. They say, oh, yeah, this contradiction can't exist anymore. So do that with your content. Instead of saying, hey, here's how to do X, Y, and Z, tell me why. But more importantly, give me your personal point of view. What did that thing do for you, and how did it make you feel? So, this final point is going to sound basic, and it's almost kind of weird to me that I even have to say it. But I look at my behavior versus what I see out in the internet world of how to use social media effectively, and I'm like, I don't know which one of us is right, but I know I like mine better. And that is quite simple, right? So let's say you create some kind of art, right? Whatever it is, could be writing, could be painting, doesn't matter. Point is, you put your heart and soul into it, right? So when you make that shit public, because it's yours, right? Let's say you actually even knew these first 2 points, that you had something to say, and that it was your point of view, right? Obviously, you created something from nothing, so you put it out into the public. Is the point of it to just like sit on a wall and make nobody feel anything? Because this is how we're treating likes and comments, right? The the idea is that if you put your heart and soul into something and you make it public, that is an intent to start a conversation, in my view, right? So where a lot of people are like, oh, I'm doing poorly on social media, I'm only getting a handful of likes and like one comment and blah blah blah. Yeah, you are, unless you go to that person and say, tell me what you liked about it. Start a conversation. Where did this resonate with you? Or more importantly, like, talk about them. So my posts, by all like social media viral whatever standards, do terribly. But you know what? Anytime somebody likes my shit and I've got some spare time, not always, right? But if I've got some spare time where I'm not serving clients or I'm not creating new ideas or whatever, I'll just go back to old posts and people who liked them and commented on them and be like, hey, really appreciate you spending even seconds to do this, right? Genuinely want to be here to be useful. Like, what did you resonate with about this? Or let's talk about you. Like, if you're down, what lights you up? Or if you're really down, let's fucking grab a coffee, right? I can get as many meetings as I want, which is not to say that many, but I like to grab coffee with people. And one of the easiest ways I do that is by posting something that I have full conviction in and have something to say with. When somebody sets the intent and says, I like this, or comments on it, or whatever, I just hop in their DMs, give thanks. I call it giving goodwill. Yo, you're a freaking legend. Thank you so much for spending time here. If you've got a second, would love to know what resonated. Not in like a bro hustle, let me lead you to a freaking sale kind of way. Genuine interest. What did you like about it? If what you say resonates with me, I'll do more of it, right? And so once that conversation starts and they actually do it, then I immediately go into an audio message and actually let them hear my tone of voice. Why? Because I'm doubling down on conviction. They can hear my conviction and say, I genuinely am thankful for you doing that, right? I kind of suck at social media. So the fact that you're giving me any sort of like praise, intent, whatever, I want to reward that and say, you're freaking awesome, right? Because I'm just trying my best out here. And when they follow up with that, I'm like, yo, the DMs are great. Conversation's better. I like grabbing coffee with people. I've got a coffee booking link. I'll include that in the description of this video, by the way, if you want to grab coffee. But I got a coffee booking link. I send it to people and I say, read the description of that. If you vibe with the description, grab a time and I'll buy you coffee. If you read the description and you're like, I think he's got a hidden agenda, or I don't want to hop on another meeting, or blah, 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 then don't do it, right? But in 3 messages, goodwill, tone of voice and conviction, hey, I like grabbing coffee with people legitimately without an ulterior motive. Read the description. If it sounds good to you, go ahead. And that's how I can get as many meetings as I want. That's where magnetism comes from. Magnetism doesn't come just from putting the post out there and then leaving it, right? And I am terrible at like liking and commenting on things. It's just not a skill I'm very good at. I've got 3 kids. I'd rather spend time with them than scrolling social media and liking other people's shit. Could be seen as a defect, could be seen as selfish, 100%. But like, I've got a reason for it. I've got conviction in why I don't do it, right? But if I put something out there and somebody likes my stuff, I'm going to be thankful, and then I'm going to be genuinely curious and want to learn more about that person, right? Social media, not look at me media. Yeah? Be social with people. It's not that difficult. I want to leave you with something. Let's kind of summarize what we talked about. First thing, you don't have to post every day. Just post when you have something to say. The idea is as you get better and as you get to know yourself more, you're going to have more things to say, right? So don't make posting every day the master. Make I have this thing I can't help but say make the master, and then say it. The next one is tie your point of view to it, right? Don't tell me how to do something. Information is cheap and free these days, right? Tell me how it made you feel, why you did it, right? That's why mission statements are getting way more powerful. I'm doing this because, right? I'm telling you this because. That's where the magnetism comes from. And then the final one is I'd call it like treating it like a coffee shop. That's how I treat the internet is if you post something and somebody likes it, extend it to coffee shop style conversation. Genuine curiosity, get to know that person, right? But if you stayed this long in the video and heard my conviction, some people would call it a rant, but those people will never work with me because they don't vibe with it. If you're still vibing with this and you get it, I don't want to leave you hanging, right? Actually, what really helped me in the beginning was this GPT I created. I call it the Big Idea Vault, right? So much of this stuff is difficult to actually like put out publicly and all that kind of thing because we don't have an inventory that's like really well organized in our heads, right? We might have a million things in like an iPhone note and then some stuff in Google Doc and then we're talking to GPT and all this sort of stuff. So the point of this thing is it's going to ask you some questions and it's going to extract stories. It's going to extract your point of view. It's going to extract your conviction, right? So totally free. I've been, man, it's probably over a year old. I've been using it with clients and myself for a long time. So I call it the Big Idea Vault. Grab that, totally free. And I hope that helps you start like creating this POV, this magnetism, that kind of thing. But the point is you don't need to subscribe to surface level tactics. You don't need to have a big audience. Magnetism is defined by you, right? What do you want to be magnetic for? My argument is have something to say, give us your point of view, and then extend the conversation. Be curious. So we'll leave it there. Thanks so much for watching. I am freaking boiling in this sun. We'll see you in the next one.